Hello, my name is Olimpia.
And I'm Nairy.
Welcome to Nail the Game podcast. Here we talk about all things nail art, care, health, and fashion. Before starting the podcast, make sure to join us on our Facebook community and also social media channels where you will get exclusive content about salon professional nail industry. We'll host many guests and as well as you'll get access to many giveaways and pro nail tips. For today, we have chosen the very common topic of how to choose a right gel nail polish for your nails. So let's get started.
Okay, so generally, how do you define a right nail polish? What makes a gel nail polish good?
That's a very good question to start with. With the variety of many brands that we have in the industry in general, it can be very confusing to understand which gel nail polish is good for your health, which is not. Many brands claim that they are, let's say, vegan, they use natural pigments or some type of naturally sourced ingredients, which makes us believe that these brands can actually be more harmless for our organism than the rest. But the most important thing is to understand which ingredients exactly can be harmful for us and then look out for those ingredients in different gel nail polish brands and understand if this brand doesn't have these ingredients, then it's most probably, according to many claims and regulations, it's very harmless and I can use it without worrying about anything.
That's interesting. You mentioned ingredients a lot. It's a component of what makes a nail polish good. And I always think about this, that we are always so worried of what we eat and what we put in our bodies. We look for the ingredients, but we never realize that it's not just about what you put in your body. Also, it's on your nail, in your nail polish or your skincare products that you're using. So what makes good ingredients that are not harmful for your body and don't cause any side effects?
That's a very interesting perspective to take because very often I also see that people do not think that nails can actually be a pathway of different diseases or allergies that can go into our organism. But one simple thing to discuss is that, for example, when before we do our nails, we trim our cuticles or push them back or cut them even with nail drill machines or nippers or whatever. And very often we create this gap between the nail bed and the cuticle, and it is a very easy way for different bacteria or different harmful ingredients that may be present in the nail polish or gel polish to get into your skin and hence your organism. So it's very important to take into consideration that reading the ingredient list of a nail product is also very important, like we do read the ingredients of any food that we buy or anything. Some of those ingredients you may have heard about big five ingredients that are considered harmful with according to all of the European and US regulations in cosmetics. Those five ingredients are camphor, toluene, formaldehyde resin, and dibutyl phthalate. Each one of these ingredients is harmful in one way or another, but if we generalize it, they can cause dizziness, headache. You notice a very bad smell sometimes from a nail polish or gel polish, and it can cause different nausea even. And then some of those ingredients are also proven to be causing cancer. Allergenic as well. Some of the other ingredients that we don't talk about much, but they are also harmful. One of them is xylene. It's also causing nausea, dizziness, headaches. Other ingredients to look out for are parabens. Those have proven to sometimes cause breast cancer even. And then one ingredient that is very a very hot topic in the nail industry right now is HEMA. All of the major producers of gel polishes or nail polishes, they're working to get formulas HEMA free because this ingredient is also it is not 100% allergenic, but it has a risk of causing skin allergies. So they are trying to replace it with other types of monomers such as iboma or DDGMA or some types of monomers that are not actually allergenic for your skin.
Oh, wow. Those names are very confusing and hard to remember. I remember I read it somewhere where it said that if an ingredient is hard to read, it means that it's harmful. And yeah, we see all these labels and ingredients on the nail polish or any beauty product bottles. But besides the ingredients, there are like signs. For example, like symbols, signs that represent different things. But a lot of people, including me, don't know what those stand for, and a lot of times brands are not transparent about it. So, could you please elaborate on those signs, the most common signs, and what do they mean on a
Sure.
nail polish?
Sure, that's a very good question. Very often people are confused with the expiration date because nail polish or gel polish, they're like very small bottles, and it's sometimes there's no place for you to write even the ingredient list, let alone the expiration date or production date. That's very common in cosmetics in general. So if you want to understand the expiration date of a cosmetic product, you should look out for this jar sign that has like the lid open, and generally it has like 6, 12, 24, 36 M written on it, which means like that amount months. And the open lid shows that whenever you open the product starting from that day, it is like counting down the expiration date. Let's say it's written 36M, which is the most common case in many gel polishes. It means that once you open the bottle, it is going to expire after 36 months, which is like 3 years. So
Oh,
that's how
wow.
you understand the expiration date of a cosmetic product. Sometimes you will find the production date under the bottle, which is also a very good indicator to see whether that gel polish is like good for use or no. Generally, without opening the bottle, gel polish shelf life, it can be like 3 to 4 years if the storage conditions are kept. That is a very important like point to understand, because if there is direct sunlight, if there is any type of heat, it's going to like change its formula inside, change the consistency, so it's going to be like not suitable for use at all. So it's very important to pay attention to like whether in this beauty supply store or this online store stored the products well or not, to understand whether it's okay if it was produced like 3 years ago or no. The other sign symbol to look out for is the flammable sign. It is very often like noticed in primers and nail polishes rather than like gel colors. But what it means is basically the product is flammable. You should keep it like away from anything that can cause potentially fire. And generally, this symbol is like very useful for logistics. This types of products can be like transferred only through ground. It is very like it has to go through different procedures to get the permit to like be transported through air as well, because it's flammable. So that's another sign to look out for. Then some brands that use like naturally sourced ingredients or vegan, they can like put this type of a sign. For example, for nude beauty, we use natural stone minerals as pigments, so we put utmost natural sign on it so that people understand, have some like vision of the formula before actually reading the ingredient list. And then like lastly, the sign that comes to my mind is the free sign with PETA. That
The
is like a
bunny.
bunny. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the other sign that is very common if the products are cruelty free and testified.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I actually didn't even know that nail polishes can expire as well. I knew about the flammable one, but I didn't know they expire, and it was so nice to know the jar sign and so on. And actually, a lot of my friends pay attention to nail bottles. And one time, my friend, I saw her switching the cap from one nail polish to another, and I was very confused. I said, "Why are you switching?" And she said that it's actually really uncomfortable to use this specific brush, so that's why I use another nail polishes brand brush, so she can apply her nail polish very comfortably.
Got it.
And is there like a how do brands choose their brushes? Does it actually affect how they're applying, or it depends on the person?
Got it. That's actually a very good observation. I did that myself too. So the brush is very important. For nail polish. Generally, semi-lunar shaped brushes are more common. They are very easy to work with because they cover 90% of the nail plate like with one strike. When it comes to gel polish, the preferred version is like a shorter brush and a flat brush that doesn't have this like semi-lunar kind of an
Okay.
edge. Why flat brush? Because it's easier to get the product evenly on the nail plate so that it doesn't like go to the sides or to the edges. It doesn't like accumulate in a specific area of your nail, but rather it goes on smoothly. Its application is easy. Of course, like let's remember that gel polishes are for professional use only, so you have to kind of understand the whole technique of applying a gel polish, but flat brush is really helping in that aspect of getting no let's say like some types of stains or anything, empty spaces on the nail plate. That's why flat brush is something to look out for when you're choosing a gel polish. When it comes to a cap, for example, my hands may get like very sweaty, especially when I'm concentrating to do something.
Same.
So especially when I'm trying to paint like my right hand with my left, because like it's very difficult. So whenever the cap is type of a matte surface and it's also not like rounded or like very flat or very square shaped, because all of these shapes are getting it very like hard, making it very hard to like hold the cap in your hands. So whenever the cap is more like has this shape when it's thin on the upper side and like gets wider on the end, it's like a very comfortable type of a cap to hold in your hand because it's not sliding, it's not going anywhere. And whenever the material is like matte, not like very glossy, for me personally, it's like easier to work with this types of caps rather than just like the glossy ones that like slide all the
Yeah,
time.
slip from your
Yeah.
finger. Yeah. That's really interesting how so many categories there are to judge nail polish, if it's like good gel nail polish, if it's good or not. Um, is there anything else that goes under those categories?
Um, Something that comes to my mind is actually the color variety of gel polishes that the brand offers, because we all know that in fashion or in interior design or in nails, all of this like industries that deal with colors, one of the major like guidelines to follow is Pantone, like the color catalog,
Yeah.
which tells like which is going to be the color of the year, and then tells like seasonal colors, color combinations that go well together. And this catalog is used in like almost all industries that we deal with colors, nails specifically. But it's very like important to note that besides following the classic colors of the season or having this collection of colors that we know is in demand always no matter the weather situation, it's also very important to create color variety, because colors are a way to express ourselves, express our mood, our personalities. And sometimes you're in the mood for like yellow, or sometimes you're in the mood for like very bright yellow, sometimes very like pastel-y lemon
Yeah.
yellow. Like whenever you're like trying to travel to Italy, even mentally, you want to do
Yeah.
this lemon yellow color on your nails. So it's very important to have a color variety that is actually close to these classic colors, but also has different shades that helps you express yourself whenever you're in the mood too. So whether the brand is trying to be creative with their collections is a very important sign for me personally to look out for and choose a gel polish with. And then the other thing is the names of the colors. If you notice, like all of the brands try to like name their collections, name their colors
Creatively, yeah.
creatively, and like name is also a very like important factor when I'm choosing a color. If I feel like classy that day, I'm choosing something that has classy on it, or
Yeah.
something like it has an effect on me personally. So whether the brand is taking it creatively, working with colors, is also a very important aspect for me to look out for.
That is really interesting because it's important for them to offer many colors, because many shades of the same color, because everyone sees a color differently. So having those shades will actually be beneficial for everyone to choose the perfect shade for them. And with the description and like the name too, I think it's very psychological when you hear like summer breeze, the color is named summer breeze, and that's actually like the feeling that it gives you is very positive, and
Agreed.
it's really important. I never paid attention to it before, but I unconsciously do that as well because it already creates that atmosphere and creates that mood that you're gonna feel when you use that nail
Agreed.
polish.
100% agreed.
Yeah. Now we know what makes a gel nail polish good and the categories that goes into judging a nail polish.
Stay tuned for our next episode.
Thank you.